Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm a second year graphic design student at Falmouth. I live in London and have come down to Falmouth to study. So I was born in New Zealand, stayed there for 3 weeks, and then we flew to Poland and we stayed there for 3-4 years, and then we came to England where we used to live in Essex. After sixth form, I worked in an office for a year, 9 to 5, like in suits, and I didn't like it at all. So I guess that definitely inspired me to come here and try something new. I chose graphic design because I feel like it's something that you can be creative, but also you can help people at the same time. And I quite like that idea of that, being able to help someone in a really subtle way, something to look at, or it could be an object that will help someone or inspire someone. It kind of can be quite a humble thing. I think my design and art is quite simple and uncomplicated. My inspiration behind these collages were probably a lot to do with the emotion I was feeling. I was feeling quite scared. I did these before coming to Falmouth, so I was trying to make a lot of work and I was trying to make it quickly and I was nervous, and that's really how I was feeling. Trying to make something quite big but quite pretty. I guess the colours I use in them are definitely the colours I have carried on using throughout most of my work. So it was quite an interesting start. So we had to do a book as a project. We had to illustrate it, write the book, and I decided to do something close to my heart. So I did it with my grandparents, and I did it with watercolor just because I like the way the watercolor reflects sort of a memory. Watercolors are quite, wishy-washy, and they fade when you're painting for watercolor. It reminded me of how the memories kind of fade slowly. So I showed like a part of my style, so slightly more personal, and like that kind of feely style that I hadn't really looked into before this. Definitely combining all these elements of the continuous line, drawing from memory, the watercolor, and keeping it into a small little book was definitely like a nice addition to learning about my style. I guess when I'm drawing monsters or creatures, I think I first started doing that when I was quite young, when I was a child. Just be drawing, doodling, sketching. Usually like a massive, huge monster, and then lots of tiny little people everywhere kind of running for their lives. If I'm drawing like a monster or a creature or something, I want them to be kind of intrigued, maybe a little bit scared. I want them to like look into it deeply and try and find any like little hidden things. I think I wanted to make them look angry because that's possibly maybe how I was feeling. I kind of want to show it through the monster. The ones I was going for were more scary. Possibly in the future to be able to add more detail, to make them not only scary, but just to see how many emotions I can fit into a monster or into any piece of work would be quite an interesting thing to do. I have creative blocks, but I try to fill them in with other things, other tasks, and talking to other people definitely helps. If you just talk about something random or, with a friend, eventually you'll get to a new idea that you may not have had on your own. So that definitely helps. But because my work process is quite slow, I usually come up with something on my own, or just looking at other people's work generally helps. Not copying, but taking small bits of inspiration, tiny little things that they've done, see how they've done it, and take it in and create something yourself. There's Malcolm X. He said something along the lines of, you can't condemn someone for not knowing something, because there was once a time in your life when you didn't know that something either. So instead of being angry at that person, try and teach them. Instead of getting angry, you just learn from scenarios. In the future, I wouldn't want to see myself like in a sort of standard office job doing design and art that someone else is telling me to do. I would like to do something that I want to do myself, creating something that will take a while, but hopefully one day it will be quite treasured, looked at nicely. I've been Lucas. I hope you've enjoyed my story. Take care.